Real Madrid have a problem, and no, it's not a lack of talent. Because tell me this, how can a team with Mbappé, Vinicius, Bellingham, and one of the most stacked squads in football still look incomplete? Sounds impossible, right? But the answer is more dangerous than people think. Real Madrid didn't lose players, they lost their identity, and what they're planning for 2027 could completely change European football again. A few years ago, Real Madrid felt like a machine. Every player knew exactly who they were. Ramos brought leadership, Casemiro brought protection, Modric brought intelligence, Kroos controlled chaos, Benzema connected everything. The system worked. Then slowly, everything disappeared. One by one, they left. At first, nobody really noticed. But when the spine of a team walks out the door, eventually the football exposes it. And now the cracks are impossible to ignore. But here's where things become interesting. 2 years ago, saying Jose Mourinho could return to Madrid would have sounded ridiculous. Today, not so much. Because Madrid don't need another celebrity coach. They don't need someone to collect stars. They need someone to create order. Someone willing to tell a superstar, stay in position, someone who puts the badge above individual comfort. And suddenly, the Mourinho conversation starts making sense. But the biggest surprise isn't Mourinho, it's the names connected to this rebuild. Let's start with the defense. Madrid have talented defenders, but talent doesn't always create stability. They need someone who makes everyone else calmer. Someone who cleans up mistakes, someone who protects chaos before it begins. That's where a player like Konaté enters the conversation. Not flashy, not social media material, just effective. The kind of player who allows everyone around him to play with more confidence. But defense isn't Madrid's biggest issue. The real problem is somewhere else, midfield. Because right now Madrid have energy, they have power, they have runners, but they don't have control. Kroos used to slow the game down when everything became frantic. Modric could escape pressure with one movement. Now, there's movement everywhere, but nobody controlling the rhythm. That's why names like Vitinha and Enzo Fernandez suddenly become important, not because they create headlines, because they control the temperature of games. But even that doesn't solve Madrid's biggest issue. Because there's another problem nobody wants to admit, the Benzema problem. And no, this isn't about goals, it's about function. Benzema wasn't just finishing attacks, he connected them. He created space, he linked players together. Today, Mbappe and Vinicius often move toward the same areas. The movement exists, the chemistry doesn't always. And that's why Julián Álvarez starts making so much sense. Not because he's another superstar, because he makes systems work. But wait, because the craziest name might still be ahead. Imagine signing a player who instantly makes everyone better. A player who doesn't need headlines. A player who organizes everything around him. Rodri, the control room. With him, Bellingham becomes freer. Mbappe stays higher. Vinicius becomes more dangerous. The entire team changes, because sometimes the most important player isn't the one scoring goals. It's the one making everyone else breathe. So now the real question becomes, does Real Madrid actually need more stars? Or do they need their identity back? Because this no longer feels like a transfer project. It feels like the beginning of something much bigger. And by the time Europe realizes what Real Madrid are building, it might already be too late. If you enjoyed the video, tell me in the comments. Which player should Real Madrid sign first?